Hello and welcome to another edition of Fours and Sixers. We're now previewing the 18th edition of the Indian Premier League. We're putting out videos on a team-by-team basis, 10 videos. So we now talk about a franchise that has historically underperformed, that has historically provided a lot of content, and it will want to redress all of those this year. Royal Challengers Bangalore. They're going in with a new leadership group after they let go of Faf du Plessis. There were some reports that made the rounds that Virat Kohli would be made captain again, but that's not come to pass. It's now Rajat Patidar. He has, of course, captained in the past. I think Madhya Pradesh, he did a captain in a few white ball tournaments over the last year. What do you make of the appointment what do you make of the franchise and the squad they put together?
I think it's just franchises realizing they can't hold on to just the one star they have, like CSK with last year and MI again last year and now RCB. They have to at some point move on and groom someone who could be the face of the franchise for the next 5-6 years. And Patidar is probably the one guy who's been the consistent performer for him over the last few years, and that's where they're looking at, and that's where they also need an Indian face. He's still not in the realm of things in terms of the Indian team, the national team, but then again, I don't think it matters much. Like we have someone like Sanju Samson as well, who's now back in the realm of things, but when he was made captain, he was not necessarily there. So they have an interesting squad.
Interesting is a euphemism. Actually interesting.
No, it is because it'll be interesting to see how they are going to put this out, because they'll have Phil Salt, Kohli opening, they'll have Devdutt Padikkal at number 3 probably, and then
you expect him to play?
Yeah, because otherwise it'll be an all English thing. Like they have Liam Livingstone, they have Jacob Bethel. I think they'll probably go with that particular of Jacob Bethel for sure, at least in the starting few games. So Devdutt Padikkal 3, Patidar 4, Jitesh Sharma is there, Liam Livingstone is there, Krunal Pandya. That's sort of how, and then maybe like someone like Romario Chopet comes in. That's sort of how the top 6-7 shapes up. But it's the bowling that, as always, makes things interesting for RCB.
They have spent some money on Jitesh Sharma, so I expect him to be the keeper and not Phil Salt.
Yeah.
And Sharma is of course an interesting option. He was in the India scheme of things, has now dropped out, performed really well for Punjab, so well I think that he was made captain for a couple of games, or at least one game. I think Jitesh also addresses a long-standing issue for RCB in their inability to finish, and also Jitesh also will probably fulfill Dinesh Karthik's role.
Yeah.
Moving on, you mentioned the bowling lineup. It's not tough to bowl in that extremely postage stamp batting friendly ground. They have bought in Josh Hazelwood, no stranger to the franchise.
I think RCB has this trend of going for bowlers, proven bowlers, but probably past their prime. That's something they tend to do. Even last year, they almost bankrupt themselves trying to go for Pat Cummins, and ended up getting Alzari Joseph and a couple of others as well. Make no mistake, Hazelwood is right up there in terms of red ball cricket and the kind of impact he has for Australia. But in this format, him along with Yash Dayal was really good last season, I have to mention, but him along with Yash Dayal, Lungi Ngidi is there. These are players who had breakthrough years in the IPL, but RCB, as is often the case, they either find someone young and then sort of it doesn't work out and they flourish somewhere else, or either they get someone who's flourished somewhere else and then things don't work out.
Another bowler that you've not mentioned is Bhuvneshwar, who's a like-for-like replacement for Mohammad Siraj.
Not necessarily. Bhuvneshwar is more defensive than Siraj, and probably someone who has consistently gone a little over 6 throughout his IPL career, and I'm waiting to see how it happens to him in Chinnaswamy. He's a quality bowler, make no mistake. If if he's able to maintain that, he will be that gold for them. He'll be that X factor for them with the ball, the defensive bowler.
One player that I'm really looking forward to see is Suyash. I don't know if he will start, but I mean he was a revelation for Calcutta in the games that he played. Your thoughts on Suyash? Do you think they'll go with two spinners, assuming Krunal plays?
Yeah, they might, because with the impact player rule they can. And they also have someone like Rashid Salam as well in terms of the pace
He was
department.
also good for Delhi.
We also forgot Tim David, who was consistent with Mumbai. It doesn't necessarily reflect in the wins, but he was one of the consistent performers in the lower order for Mumbai. So him and Jitesh and Krunal will be the crucial, 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. And again, it probably comes down to how the top 4 bat, if they are going to bat at 140, 150, or go much and above. And
considering the amount that they've paid for Livingston, you would assume that he will play, and because also he provides the dynamism with ball. I mean, he can
bowl anything. Yeah. So it is a squad where there is no straightforward 11.
And he also clearly is. When you look at the squad, you know that an Englishman was responsible for putting this up. Mo Butt, for people who are wondering.
And then of course Andy Flower, who's back in the scheme of things as well. So I think Hazelwood, Salt, Livingston, and David will start.
I don't think David will start. I mean, they would probably plumb
or Hazelwood. David or Hazelwood, it comes up to.
I mean, it is certainly an interesting squad, so foul play to them.
Yeah. So, much like KKR, who they'll be facing in the opening game, a lot will depend on what team takes the field and take it from there.
That's all for another edition of Fours and Sixes. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye.